Hello, Peter. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Armin. Nice to see you again.
How was your week? Everything fine?
Oh, very silent, very locked down, and yes, I worked on the third volume of the Bowman book.
A third already. Okay, good. So second is done?
Second is done. I think during this week it will be published on Amazon,
No,
like
well,
the first
cool.
one. Yeah, yeah.
Send us
So
a
you
link and
get,
we can put the link in the description and people can directly check it there.
yeah, yeah.
Very good.
And good news, I think during the month of May, also the translation of the first volume will be ready in
Cool.
English translation.
Very good.
So I think at the end of May it will be published too.
Very good. I think it could be very interesting for the Americans because you always have the little this harmony feeling with Germany or with a good old land, and with Austria and mountains, and it's a bit archery in it. I think it could be quite successful there.
Yeah,
that's why this
I
in
think
English,
so too.
In English, it's very important, I think.
And it's a way bigger target group,
Exactly,
because
exactly.
Italian people also read English.
This is what I always hear when I did my thumb release courses on YouTube. Oh, can you make it in German? I do a German video, I get whatever 5,000 views. I do the same video in English, I get 50,000 views. So it's nice to do it, but it's almost not worth it because I mean, almost everybody can speak a little English. I did a few German ones, but it's very, very small, this group.
And you know what? A good archer is able to speak English.
Oh, yeah, that's another point of discussion.
I will get a shitstorm.
Yeah, but hey, that's why we do it. Because if we all cuddle everyone and then like in a baby carriage, it doesn't make sense. We need to shake them and wake them up. And then you don't know what comes. Either they like you or they hate you. But at least we polarize. So it's not like, okay, I don't care. Either you have one pro or one con. That's fine.
Yes, the one they like you, they really love you, and the ones they hate us, they really hate us.
Exactly. This is it only goes more in the extremes than, but it's fine. Doesn't change anything. Nice. So book is all ready, all done, all settled. Good.
I want to mention or to make a short statement about some comments we got because we talked on hunting, game hunting, and so. And we talked about before. It's very interesting. There are lots of people who are totally into battle, combat, war, where humans get killed by
even all these reenactors, they reenact and fights and
they love this stuff, and I love it too. No problem with it. But the very same people, if you talk about hunting, they say you are a murderer and what else. And so, first point, any person who ever eats meat has to shut up about hunting. Because if you buy your meat in the supermarket, at the butcher store, these animals are tortured all their life long, and then they get killed.
Exactly.
All the animals in the wild live really free, are happy in their natural environment,
get better food.
One day they get, in the best case, a quick deadly shot.
Yeah, I was talking today to one at the range, and he said, then you only need to see it how it happens with a cow in one of these slaughterhouses, and they have this bolt machine, and it's not that they put it in a separate room. There are all the cows, they get killed today, and then the first one, dunk, they kill it, and the other cows see, holy, what's going on, and then he comes to me with this. So they are totally stressed, and this stress meets this stuff you have then.
But I always had here one argument, because it's a kind of humanizing the animals. Because if you think about, even we humans have no clear idea of what death means. What death means.
Yeah.
So if you think a cow is standing there and looking at the other cows who get killed and say, oh, they are dead, they don't know what dead is. Because even in our religions, they say you live on, your soul lives on. You get
but they see that something is happening. I mean, when they get butchered in front of them, then they still have fear, even if they can't conceptualize the idea of death, but they still will be totally shocked. So there's always a little.
But I even have seen it. I hunted wild sheep, you know, with these curled horns.
Yeah.
And we rifle hunted. And we shot one of it was a herd about 20 to 25 animals, sheep. And we shot one with the rifle. And then we walked back to the car to pick it up and so on. And when we arrived at the dead animal, I think about 30 meters uphill is the whole herd standing and looking down. They had no idea. They had no idea. The animal rights activists would say they were mourning. You know, they looked down and were
mourning. I don't think that they do, but you never know.
No.
But I think even animals have souls, so we don't know. We don't know it. We only can assume, and of course you can make it your life easier because you think, no, they don't feel anything, or you think they are beings with souls and feelings. And I mean, even a fish, when you hunt it, it doesn't mean he doesn't feel anything because he can't shout, you know, because he can't articulate, he can't scream. Doesn't mean he doesn't feel anything.
Also very interesting. For many people, the hunter is the bad guy, but the fisherman is a nice guy. And it's, if you think about stupid.
Yeah, I wonder then that many people go out on a 3D parkour and shoot then realistic looking whatever pigs and oh look, I shot this grizzly bear. But when you tell them people about whatever the big five or something, or somebody goes hunting for a bear, oh, how can you? So you know where is always the border? Where is the limit of, you know? Yeah,
they should shoot at pizzas or pumpkins or something like it.
Yeah, I should shoot a turkey, but should go in a supermarket in the frozen section. Bang, shot my first turkey. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but fair point. Yeah. Something else we want to say about Petra, but I think we will get a lot of comments because it was quite controversial.
Great talk.
And it was a good talk from me too, yes. And I think we will simply collect the comments, and as we said, we will invite Petra again in maybe 4 or 5 weeks.
Yep.
And then we simply can do a catch up of all these comments or critiques or whatever is coming, and then we see.
Yeah, I'm just opposing I agree with the most stuff Petra said. I don't just agree with this female warrior stuff. It's, you know, it's nice, it's a nice idea, but as I mentioned, I think it's more legendary because there's no proof for any female warriors except in sagas and so on.
Yeah, and where do you get the proof of male warriors except in sagas and so on?
Who should fight if not men? Everybody who is capable of fighting. Yeah, of course. and you take an 1 meter 170 centimeter woman with thin bones and other muscle tissue, and there comes a 1 meter 84 warrior.
Yeah.
Okay.
He tries to swing his double hand sword, which is very heavy but very slow, and she might be very quick with a smaller blade and can compensate for it. So it's always there is no ultimate warrior.
And why should
compensate? Huh?
And why shouldn't a man fight this man?
You don't know. Maybe in this group there is no man left anymore. There's only one.
Yes. You speak from exceptions. I don't say.
No, you don't know. I don't know. I think that there are maybe not that many, but in different cultures that it doesn't matter if you which gender you are when you can shoot a bow and arrow, or when you can have a sword. Go out and fight. I think.
Yes, it was a kind of last ditch. If a village is raided by, of course, everybody thought that, that's clear. But if one village or one tribe had trouble with the other tribe, then the man fought, of course, because it's this role models, you know. It's not long ago, it was also in our culture like this. The man had to protect the woman and the girls.
But doesn't mean that it's always like this, or that it's right. I mean, you see what happens with all the man-guided governments and stuff like this. I don't want to say anything, and I don't want to say that Angela Merkel did a good job. I'm not sure if she's even a female. I think she is an androgyne, but that doesn't matter. But I think in general, we as men didn't give or in modern times didn't give the women maybe the chance they would have deserved. And on the other side, the women don't even want to have the chance, many of them.
No, that's simply not true, because if you remember well, think about Elizabeth I. She was a woman ruling half of the civilized world in her days. There were emperors and so that's not true. And according to your logic, you would say women are the better rulers than men?
No, equal.
So it doesn't matter if there's a woman or a man, in my opinion.
Exactly, same in hunting or same in warfare.
Yes. But you
doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man.
No. Warfare is physical. But you said there would be more. Yeah. But a man with 100 kilos, a warrior with mental power is stronger than a woman.
But not every man is 1.80 m and weighs 150 kilograms. And before you take a weak man, you take a strong woman. My opinion, as if I would have to assemble now a crew here with which I have to fight, I would for sure take a few female too, which I know they are good in archery. They have a strong mindset, and they simply, when you tell them, listen, we go this way, they go this way, or whatever. I would
look. If
I'm not
on every place, in every situation where it's really tough ongoing, think about the Navy SEALs or the Marines or something. They are women, but not at the SEAL team. And not at the Légion Étranger or there's really tough stuff. There aren't women. At the firefighters, at real firefighters, there are no women. And because imagine this, a soldier has to be able to carry his body on his back out of the fire line.
Yeah.
So, and a woman will carry that other Marine? I don't think so. And
I don't know.
If I would be in a team like that, I would like to have men who are able to carry each other, and not one woman. If I have bad luck and the woman is beside me,
and I would not go in a battle if I already have to think about that. They carry my dead bodies away. I would choose the people that I win my fight, because Sun Tzu said, if you go to war, you need to know your enemy, you need to know yourself, and only if you win, go into war. Fine.
Of course, but it still happens that someone gets wounded.
That's fine. Let him bleed to death. I don't care.
Oh, you're not.
We have 9 billion people on the planet. Come on, one more or less. Peter.
No. That's not my opinion. If you can save your next.
My opinion.
No. Okay. I think we don't agree because you're more into women. That's okay for me.
Sometimes I'm into women. No, that's a bad joke again. No, I think that history, and especially in the Renaissance, they rewrote all the history books, and it was done by men.
Oh, really?
Yes, and this is, I think, that's why we have everything is a bit more man influenced. And as said before I take a weak guy, I take a strong woman in my team, in my battle team. I have no problem with it.
Yes.
And if somebody has to be carried away because he's wounded, then I might find one strong guy I have in my team, which does this job.
100-kilo woman.
Not a guy with 100 kilos.
I see you laugh.
And on the other side, I mean, you hear all these stories that a car was driving over a kid and the woman in her thingy was lifting this car. She was physically not capable. But of course, when the mental and, you know, under a strong general, there are no weak soldiers. So I have no problem. I mean, if I have to compensate and need to make sure that my soldiers are strong enough, maybe I'm not good enough as and you know the story with Sun Tzu, how he got this one emperor with the concubines. Said, so how do they listen? Oh, behead her, and then you see. That's why I think women are same capable of men.
No, because they're not as strong as men. That's true. And you know, back then, a woman was a very highly valued being because women are capable to get babies, to give birth to babies. And that was more important than to send a woman into a fight or a battle. That's my opinion. And these are these role models. I don't say women are just for having babies, but you go back in history, the more important that was. Because the children secured the life of the old people.
Yeah.
So they took care for the women, they protected them, not sent them to war.
Doesn't mean that we didn't have female warriors.
Okay, give me one proof, except the Amazons, which were a legend back then at the Greeks.
There is even a Chinese warrior, I forgot her name because I don't remember them. There is a list of the 5 badass women, and then you can check them. Of course, they are sagas. Like with the men, like look at your Siegfried saga or Robin Hood saga. Sagas and stories.
Because it's natural for men to fight and not for women.
You were married once?
Never.
That's why you have no idea. We better change the topic now.
I only had, not only, but I had long relationships. One was 10 years, one was 7 years. So it was kind of like to be married.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know a lot about.
Women don't know how to fight, or you don't know.
I know how to fight.
And how persistent they can be when they want something.
I had a girlfriend, and she was really for 7 years, and she was really my height, and she was very strong and did a lot of sports, running and I don't know how is it called, this dancing, I don't know. And she always was angry when she fought with me, and I was stronger. So, it can't be that you are stronger than me. It's like because I'm a man.
Okay, fine. We leave this topic now. Never-ending story. We can discuss it again when we have Petra in the house.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Then you are 2 and I'm 1.
No, I'm neutral. I simply say that both is possible. I would not say no, but I would not at least neglect it completely and say only men are fighters. This is too, for me, too limiting. That's why.
Of course.
That's all. But today we want to do the second part of your books, I guess, because you still have 50 books to come. And just directly before we start, somebody asked for a list of these books. I think it doesn't make sense when we write now a list of 120 books and you don't know which one was which. The best is you watch the video, and then when a book speaks to you and you think it's interesting, simply pause the video, write the title down, or write Peter or me an email, what was the exact name or the author. Then we can answer this, but I think we don't write now a list of 120 books, and it doesn't make sense.
The first one you will really like. It's let me have a look.
Do we continue with hunting books?
No, no, no.
Oh,
You
okay.
will really love it. It's but it's by the Young Jeep Bow and Arrow Museum, and it's called the International Traditional Bow and Arrow of Yesterday and Today.
Ooh, nice.
And it's, you see wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful illustrated
nice.
thumb rings, everything.
Really? Yeah, even if you
Stuff
don't know anything. Nice.
you like, and where the western stuff. You see old targets and bows, and a wonderful book. A Japanese quiver, you see.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know where I got it, but it's a nice book.
Yeah, it's easy for me. A lot of big photos and not a lot of text.
Yeah. It's just descriptions and pictures.
Nice.
It's really good. Nice, a really nice book.
Okay.
International Traditional Bow and Arrow of Yesterday and Today is the title of the book.
Good. Nice.
So
I'm surprised. Why am I so dark today? Did I forget something? Huh?
Here's another book I mentioned before. It's by Saxton. By Saxton Pope.
Yeah.
The Adventurous Bowman. And it covers that story when they went to Kenya hunting lions.
Okay.
With an English longbow. Great book series. Arthur Young inside. He killed a lion with the English longbow. Very nice picture.
Okay.
And the interesting part of this is there's another book by Stuart Edward White, who joined Saxton Pope and Arthur Young, and he wrote another book. So you have 2 points of view.
Yeah, of the same story.
About this adventure and story. Yes, nice.
But you mentioned this book last time, I think, from Stuart Arthur White. You mentioned last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's called Hunting Lions with the Bow and Arrow. This one is a reprint, of course. An original would be very expensive. Then here I have.
See, today he's more prepared. He has the books on the side, not behind him.
Yep. A very nice book you would love to read is by J. Massey, who was not only a tough hunter, he was I think a Navy SEAL, and he also is a good writer, and he's more into primitive archery. He makes his own stuff, his own broadheads, and a very nice read. Yeah, there are pictures inside how you make iron hunting heads and so broadheads and so on. And there's another one by J. Massey, the Boers Craft. It's on bow making, on different kinds of bow, on sinew backing and so on, everything. And he more has an native Indian approach, of course, because he used to live in Alaska, and he talked a lot to Indians. Oh, I have 2 of them. You can get one if you ever come over.
I will do my best.
And then he had one bow hunting Alaska's wild rivers, and it's wonderful stories. They go by canoe along the rivers and hunted moose and elk along the rivers, and very nice.
We all know that we all watched Deliverance with Burt Reynolds, of course.
Like that.
But that didn't shoot him. Nice.
No. And there's another one with hunting stories, also by J. Massey. It's 1,000 Campfires. Great read, great read. Hunting Tales of Alaska and the Northwest. Great book. They are highly sought after today. They are high priced. I don't know if you can get some. And there's one classic, The Adventures of Fred Bear. Nice book. Lots of pictures inside. When they went also to Alaska to hunt Kodiak bear or you see sheep and elk and so on. Great book about Fred Bear's hunting journeys.
Yep.
And there's another one by Robert Manga, Trailing a Bear. It's also about hunting adventures in the USA and in Africa. When Bob Manga joined Fred Bear on his travels to India, he even hunted tigers back then, of course, when it was not a problem. A lot of hunting stuff is inside. You know that story? Fred Bear was at the Maharaja invited for hunting tigers in India. And Fred Bear was very nervous, tiger hunting and so on. And the Maharaja said, calm down, enjoy your days in my palace, and my servants go out and look for the tiger and so on. And after all, he got the tiger and so. And then I think it was 10 years later, and they invited the Maharaja to the United States. And 10 years later, I think the Maharaj said, okay, now he travels to the United States and he will visit Fred Bear. And Fred Bear's wife was done because we have no servants, we have no personnel and so on. That's another wonderful book by T.J. Conrad's, The Traditional Bowhunters Handbook. It's about everything. This is the publisher of the Traditional Bowhunter magazine. It's about arrow making, quivers, everything you can imagine.
Nice.
Yes, knock point, everything you need for hunting and traditional archery is inside. Very nice book. Here I have another good one, nice one by G. Fred Esper. You may know him. He has a nice method. His other book is called, I think, Instinctive Shooting, where he describes his own method of shooting a recurve bow instinctively. As you know, we talked about instinct. But And this one is stalking and still hunting, especially stalking techniques and hunting techniques. And you see, he tells you how the deer, the range of the view of the deer and so on. Very interesting.
Good.
Yep. Here I have one you will also like. It's by Robert Hardy. You know Robert Hardy?
No.
He is a very famous actor in Britain, and this book describes the bows they found in the Mary Rose. You know, these English long bows and arrows, and so here's a picture of Robert Hardy.
Yeah. Okay.
He used to play a veterinarian in that old serial you should know. I don't know the English title. In German, it's Der Doktor und das liebe Vieh. You remember this serial?
Okay.
And he was an actor there, and he's a good Shakespeare actor and so on. And it's a lot of early archery history inside, history of the bow and so on. It's about Crécy, Agincourt, Poitiers, these big battles where the bow, longbow played a role, about how the armory was. And and also a very scientific, is this right? I don't know. Chapter about that Mary Rose bows, and even which markings were on the bows and so on. Very interesting.
Okay.
Talk about medieval war archery.
Okay. Very good.
But also mentioning the Americans, Ishii, and so there's something mentioned inside. So this is also Fred Bear stuff. The Archer's Bible. I think there are more editions from this book. It's on hunting, but also how to build a shooting range and so on, and also about shooting and a shooting school. Very nice thing.
Good.
Here I have 4 books you may know. And these are the Boers Bible serial. You know it?
Yeah, I know it.
And I think every chapter is on a different, about a different issue, and every chapter is written by another nice Boer.
I only know about the book, but I never had it in my hands. Yeah.
Tim Baker, Paul Comstock, Jim Ham, Jay Massey, where we had the book before, and it's about bow making and everything. Great stuff.
Okay.
Here's the second one, Boers Bible Part 2. You see how you make a bowstring from natural fibers. There's a lot about Native American archery inside, and also about Stone Age bows. And if you ever like to know everything about everything in archery, bow making, arrow making, also ancient ways to do it. Great books. There's the volume 3 about native Indian bows and arrows and archery and quivers. About arrow making. You can see every trick inside. And there's also a 4th volume. And there is different stuff. You see here Inuit arrows, how they made, African arrows and how they made, you name it, everything. So if you like the primitive way of archery, you can find every technique inside there.
Okay.
There's a nice other one, an old book by Larry C. Griffin, Shooting the Bow. Larry Griffin was the guy who invented, I think, the sharpening tool, a Griffin sharpening tool for sharpening, for making the taper.
For the taper for the tips and nocks.
Yeah, and also he invented some kind of broadhead, I think. Very nice drawings inside, how to shoot, how to aim, and so on. A very nice little old book. Yep. Then here I have, a nice biography of Fred Bear. I Remember Papa Bear, by Dick Latimer. Nice book, all his adventures and a lot of pictures of Fred Bear.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know it. Bear was friends with the astronauts from the very first missions. And for example, William Shatner, Captain Kirk, was also a friend of him who hunted with Fred Bear. And Fred Bear had the broadhead who flew the longest range ever, because he sent one broadhead with the astronauts to the moon.
Nice.
They took it to the moon and brought it back. So this was a special broadhead.
Why didn't they leave it there?
No, they took it back. So
why didn't they leave it there? Then he could say there's an arrow of mine on the moon.
Maybe they had a second one. I don't know.
Maybe because they were never at the moon, but this is something different.
Yeah. Apollo 16 carried this
nice.
Bear Razorhead. Yeah,
interesting story.
There's another one by Charlie Croy, Fred Bear, The Adventures of an Outdoor Man. Nice Fred Bear biography. Lots of pictures, old photographs, stuff I love. Nice picture here too.
Nice.
And here I also like this kind of books. These are old books, and it's like a kind of archery magazine. Every chapter is of this one is about shooting style. There's a beautiful woman, you see, and there's another one about feathers and points and you name it, string making. everything an archer should know, like a handbook. Nice old book. This one is by Edmund H. Burke. And there's another similar one by Louis Hockman. Of course, Howard Hill is on the cover, so I had to have it.
Of course.
And there are chapters inside about target archery, about, there's just a chapter with Howard Hill, how he stalks, how he tracks his tracking animals, and different shooting styles and so on.
Okay.
Also a handbook which covers every aspect of practical archery. So here I have another nice one. Maybe you know Miller longbows from the United States. And this one is by Dave Miller, shooting the American semi-long bow. It's about shooting Howard Hill style bows, the right technique, and yeah, also kind of all-round archery handbook. I got it signed by Dave Miller.
Nice.
Yep. And there are some gems, or how you call it, The Art of Archery by E.G. Heath. And it's a lot about British target archery, lawn archery, or how you will call it, how the targets are erected, how you see their clothing, how it is, how you use the tap, and so on. It's about target archery. Wonderful book. There's a very rare one, but good one. Unfortunately, it had no nice cover. It's by John Schultz, who was a student of Howard Hill straight shooting, and it's also about how Howard Hill shot and how they hunted together, and shooting style, and spear hunting and so on. He died last year, John Schultz. He was well over 80 years, and his bows, he made American longbow was his brand, but he also worked back then for Howard Hill Archer and made as a subcontractor. Nice picture about trick shooting. I don't know if you can see it. There stands a woman behind the tree. A brick is the cover for her head, and on her head is an apple. And Howard Hill shots off that apple from her head. I don't know if it was just a photograph or if he really shot. I don't know.
Now, see, and when Howard Hill does it, nobody says something. When Lars Anderson does it, the whole world goes, "Oh my God, how can you do this?"
Yeah.
Okay. We don't talk about this.
There's one famous trick movie scene by Howard Hill where he places a man in front of a tree, puts an apple on his head, and then you see the total shot, the camera shot, and then he shoots the apple off. And if you know something about movie making, you can see they made a cut, and then a dummy puppet stands in front of the tree with the back to the archer, and behind the tree is the real man, and he's waving his arms. So you think the puppet is waving. So you can do a lot of stuff without any danger.
Of course.
There are two. There's Instinctive Shooting 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The Instinctive Shooting 1 I gave to somebody, never got it back. It's also by Chief Red Esper. Nice advice with a lot of drawings about hand placement and different shooting styles and so on. He's also on Facebook, Fred Esper. He's a really nice guy.
Okay.
Here is one. It's by Don Carson, and the title is Early Adventures with Howard Hill.
Oh, nice.
early adventures with Howard Hill, and Don Carson was friends with Howard Hill when he was living in Florida, and they hunted in the Everglades and so on for, you know, any alligators and any game in the Everglades. And it's a very nice and funny book. You see up there Howard Hill with his Indian warrior outfit with the feather and the buckskin clothes and so. Very nice story.
Yeah. So Howard Hill was the trainer of Errol Flynn, right, for this Robin Hood movie?
Yeah.
And Lars Anderson was the trainer of this new Robin Hood movie. Who was the trainer for Kevin Costner? Do you know that?
I think it was how is it that English bow? I have a bow from him. S.G. Rives, Steve Rives.
Okay.
He made all the tackle, the archery tackle for this Kevin Costner movie, and also trained the Trent Costner, I think.
And the other one for, what's his name? The other actor who did then a Robin Hood?
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe also Steve G. Rives. Maybe, I think so.
Okay.
You know, Byron Ferguson once told me a funny story. He learned archery. He gave Don Johnson archery instructions. You know, the actor Don Johnson, Miami Vice.
Yeah.
And Byron Ferguson said an interesting thing. He said, because Don Johnson is a good actor, his profession is to reproduce movements. So he said he very fast learned archery because he looked at how Byron does it and copied that style, and so he was very fast able to hit.
Yeah. It's, you see the difference. I had once when we did the Dove Keepers, it was a short series from CBS about the Romans battling this last fortress in Mesida with the Jews. And I had to train the actors and the special skills. And the main actor, I forgot now his name, he's from South America. When he was here, he was completely focused. And we were not, because we were in a hotel training, we were not supposed to shoot arrows there because in the movie, they will not shoot real arrows, they shoot CGI. So still, they should know how it feels. And I simply put the target on the wall and I told him, listen here, do this, do this, do this. And he did it really good. And there were others like the special skills, they are not this professional, and it took way longer to get them to the point that it looked kind of good. And some, it's interesting.
Yep.
When you take it serious as an actor, it's easier.
Yeah, and if you're a good actor, if you're able to copy another guy,
exactly, you simply look at him and you can reproduce what he's doing. Exactly. That was interesting to see.
Interesting story. I don't know if you know it, because you said Howard Hill was the instructor of Errol Flynn. He was, and he also did the shots.
Yeah, of course.
Because
the famous arrow splitting shot.
Yeah, and because back then they had no CGI and not that trick. You
had to shoot an arrow properly.
Yeah. And you know how they did it? The stuntmen carried, their knights. How is it called? Gambison, or how you call it? That arm of coat, coat of arms.
Yep.
And below it, they had a thick sheet of balsa wood. And back there was a steel plate. So they had under this knight outfit or guard outfit, they had this square balsa wood and steel. And Howard Hill really shot the stuntman. The balsa wood was there, so the arrow would stick inside.
Yeah, of course.
And if you look at this movie with this knowledge, and you see them riding in full speed, and suddenly an arrow struck them and so on.
Wow.
That was tough work. Or if you see one looking out a door and on his side an arrow went into the wood, that was real.
Yeah.
This was real.
Yeah, nowadays everything's CGI.
Yeah.
I saw once a short clip of a movie, forgot the name, Hard Target or something. There was part one with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then I did a remake with a kind of famous action movie star. And then he was, of course, they were out somewhere, and then he had a compound bow, and then he had to shoot, and then he was drawing, but he had no idea. And then they made an arrow, let's say 28 inches, the CGI arrow. And then he was drawing, and then all of a sudden he was pulling even more back. The arrow in the front didn't go any further back, but he extended at the end. So at least he had a 33-inch arrow, and it was looking so hilarious, but it was half of a second, so nobody cares. But this is how they do it nowadays, But we got off topic.
I think it's good.
Yeah, of course.
There's a very famous other book by Glenn St. Charles. His sons are still running, I think it's called Northwest Archery or so, both on the Little Delta, and it's all about hunting in the wilderness. And Glenn St. Charles also was a friend. He was an archery pioneer himself. Here's a picture. And he also was friend with Fred Bear and so on. A lot about they joined the Indians back then. And had contact with them, and very nice, very beautiful book.
Yeah, thick. Yeah, not for me. Too much to read.
Here I have another good one by M.R. James. It's 44 Unforgettable Bowhunters, and every chapter is one bowhunter described. Also, Fred Bear is inside, of course, and you know, you don't need to know it if you're not into hunting, but it's a great, also wonderful made book.
Good. How many books are coming still?
Yeah, finish soon.
Oh, finish soon. Yeah, okay. I thought about making another coffee then. Okay, then I skip this one.
You like to pause?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Here's a very, very expensive and rare book. The title is Archer in Africa. And it's written by this guy I mentioned, William Negley, who was this oil man who hunted the Big Five with a recurve bow. Here you see him testing arrows at Ben Pearson's factory. You see these trolleys, they're all full of arrows. And just a moment.
With enough money, everything is possible.
You can see him with the rhinoceros and so on. But it's very well written and very, very nice if you like about safari hunting and the stuff.
As long as they eat what they shoot, I don't mind.
They eat it. Very nice made book in a I don't know how you call it.
The back.
Protection. And there's a very rare book. Nobody has it, I think. It's called Bofari.
Yeah, but you have it, so at least one has it.
A lost book, only I have it.
Oh, you have the lost book.
By Jack F. Horn. And it's also about the safari in Africa, hunting African game with the bow and arrow.
Bofari.
Bofari. Here's a nice how-to book by Ken Brown on bow fishing. And I don't know, also with recipes, how you cook the fish.
Okay. Did you ever do bow fishing?
Yes, of course. It's real fun. And you see,
did you catch something?
Yeah. You know, it's very, very simple. You put in, white bread, dry white bread, and you put it into a pond where carps inside, and the carps came to the surface, and they like to eat this white bread, and then you should.
Yeah.
And I think it's in the southern states, I don't know where, they hunt really big alligator garfish, they call them. They have a head like an alligator. Let me see if I find a better picture. You wouldn't believe what kind of monsters these fish are.
Maybe they're alligators without legs.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me have one.
It's me.
Contagan alligators.
Yeah, it has to happen, With all the
Here
spraying they did in
you
America.
see this big one, the guy standing.
Yeah.
Really big
Yeah, we would say a walla.
It isn't. It's kind of, I think it's kind of, and you know, there was inside every arrowhead you use for bow fishing and the string equipment and so on.
Nice.
Very nice book.
The first one on bow fishing you have, okay?
Yeah. There's another classic by Maurice Thompson. That's the book that influenced Saxton Pope and Arthur Young into bow hunting. I don't know if you know the story. That Maurice and Will Thompsons, they lived in, I think, I don't know, Florida. And they were officers in the Confederate Army, in the Southern, you know, in the Rebel Army. And so after the Civil War, the officers were not allowed to have guns and rifles. So they switched to bow hunting and learned a lot from the native Indians over there. And it's a very nice romantic written book. And there's also another edition, highly to recommend. There are reprints.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a reprint of the old original edition.
You have a lot of value with your books, huh? All these books, they don't exist anymore, huh?
Yeah. Here's another nice one by Adolf Shane, Archery Tackle. On the cover, this is Arthur Young. And you see, interesting enough, Arthur Young threw 3 fingers below.
3 under.
Yeah.
But at least he was not string walking and aiming over there. It's fine.
No. And
not that it's something wrong with it. I shot today an Olympic bow. It's fun too. And I shot directly 20 meters, relatively good. But I had this feeling that I didn't do anything, because you simply you have your anchor point and you line up the sight with the center and you let go. And then of course I shot a nice group, but I don't know. It was like I didn't do anything. No, I don't even deserve it, because
it's a different thing. It's a different thing. Because the same with a rifle, you know, you have to line up the sights and pull the trigger. But in this one is a lot of bow making, how to joint, you know,
the splices and stuff.
Yes, and practical stuff, arrow making, footed arrows, and so on.
Nice.
Very nice little book.
Talking about little, you see this one above my head? This is the only real composite bow I have. It's horn, wood, and sinew.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's a miniature bow.
Yeah, but it shoots quite well. Made by a horn bowyer in China. He makes normally big ones, and he makes the small ones sometimes. He made a small manchu bow too, but he didn't give it to me. Yes, you?
You know this one? English Longbowman?
No.
It's a kind of warrior series, and it's very nice made, illustrated of the medieval archer's head, according to old drawings, old paintings, and a lot of. Here you see that stuff we talked about, that arrow sheath, you know, that canvas.
Yeah, exactly.
That canvas kind of reversed. That's an old arm guard. So very nice made book with nice pictures inside of medieval Western archery, warfare archery.
Nice.
Here's a very nice one. The Hunt and Metz, the flat bow. It's also about making everything, making a quiver, making a target, you see, with this rolled straw. Everything is inside here. Let me have a look. How to shoot, pictures on shooting style and shooting stance and so. Very nice old book. Here I have one by Cliff Coe, who was a very good interesting bower, 44 years behind the bow, and he had a lot of patents and yeah, some of his bows. He made recurve bows, long bows, and so very nice read. A lot of different patents back then. Yeah, very funny. Oh, now here I have a special one for you by the Ottoman Turkish bows by Adam Karpovitz. You know him?
Yeah. I know his name. I don't know him personally, but I know Adam Karpovitz. Yeah.
Wonderful book with a lot of pictures on Ottoman bows.
Yep.
Angelika Hörnig let it translate to German language. And back then, once I bought the copyright for this book, and I gave it to Angelika Hörnig, so it's also available in German language.
Nice
book.
Yeah, she's really good in what she's doing. Angelika.
Yeah.
You're not happy with her anymore?
No.
Why? What did she do?
She did nothing, but she always says she's just doing everything what she does. She's just doing for the archers. She don't like to get any money. She's just doing it for archery and for the archers. You know?
Yeah, but when you make a living of it, what can you do?
Yes, but you can say, yes, I like to get a lot of money out of this book, and not saying, oh, I'm only doing it for the other archers. Yeah.
There's one thing what you like to believe, and the other thing is the reason behind it.
Yeah,
but you did your shows only because you love archery, right?
No. No.
You did it only for the money.
No, of course.
If they would ask you make a striptease and we pay you double?
No,
No,
because I only do stuff I can do.
Yeah, you can get undressed. You do it every day, so you can get.
But
undressed.
I'm not good at it.
It doesn't matter. Didn't say that you make a good striptease. So what?
It's not my profession. Maybe you should make a video workshop about.
Yeah, then you would learn something now.
I tell you another story. In 2015, when I was in China, 200 million people watched that show in China. On the biggest Austrian newspaper, you may know it, Kronenzeitung. I was all over Austria on the cover of this newspaper. A picture from me, how I shoot in China at the Chinese show.
Okay.
And neither Angelika Hörnig nor Dietmar Vorderecker ever mentioned one thing about this. Never asked me for an interview. The ORF, the Austrian, television channel, official television channel, they invited me to an interview into Vienna, to the ORF Centrum. You can find it in my videos.
Okay.
And the guys who are just doing everything for archery, they did nothing for me.
Yeah, good. They didn't see how they make money with you.
Yes, but they repeat the same shit every 6 issues of their magazines is the same shit inside. Just
no, once I was in it. It was not the same.
So it's
it's okay. One issue was different.
I wrote articles for the Vordereckers magazines and also for Hörnig's, but okay. I know them.
Okay.
There's another good one by Paul Comstock, the band stick. It's
band stick.
The band stick. It's about bow making, stick bows.
Don't we know the band stick or?
Yep. Very nice book.
Yes, I'm not talking about this one, but it's fine.
Here's one. It's called By Gun Archery by Colin Reid, and it's just a brochure about old archery games in the medievals and English times, what archery games they did, and so very interesting.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Here's a beautiful one. The Old Bowhunter by Chester Stevenson. Chester Stevenson was a kind of archery bowhunting pioneer in the United States. And look at his ethic. You see?
Wow.
He was a crazy guy, of course. He made a lot of bows and stuff, and you know, he made snake bows and yeah, some Robin Hood style things inside. A very beautiful book.
Good.
Here I have one you will exactly like and love. It's a biography. It's called Shooting Star, about Ann Marston, who used to was a Miss Michigan, a beauty queen, and also, you see, I think Michigan. I don't know, but she was a beauty queen, and she was a very successful and famous also show archer and Olympic archer.
Nice. Now there's another actress, I forgot now her name, a quite good one. She is now in Olympic archery too. I think she doesn't even do movies anymore.
I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I forgot her name.
And she also appeared, you know, at shows and did archery on stage and so. And after all, because you love women so much, she was a woman. She's one of the only women. There's a book available. Only archery lady. A book is written about, and she had a very tragic fate. When he got older, she got blind. So a dramatic story. Nice book. Here I have a nice one by Steve Hayes, The Third Invention. It's everything about old archery, archery warriors.
And why the third invention? The first one was throwing a stone, the second one was throwing a spear, and the third one was shooting an arrow. No?
I don't know if they, I can't remember, but I think they thought the first thing was the fire, like that, not only weaponry, but they're beautiful paintings inside. And you see here an Inuit hunting seal, and about the Vikings, about the Mongols. Very nice book. So there's just only one left. It's just a very big one. It's by Jack B. Harrison, and it's Traditional Boer, More Unnecessary Fun. A very expensive and big book, and there's a lot of really step by step how you do glassed bows, and there are lots of formula inside, how you make the that forms for gluing the bows together, and so how do you make a takedown bow and so on. Very nice. And I also have this one that we talked about. You had this one too. Nice book. So I'm finished.
Oh wow!
Just a few. I have a few more, but all on hunting, you wouldn't like them.
Yeah, just getting a little repetitive. If you have one which stands out and which you say this is an absolute must read, then please feel free. If they're all always about the same hunting stories, and then it's, I guess.
But you know, when you plan a journey like I did in the past to go to Idaho hunting, bow hunting, or to Tennessee or somewhere, of course you read about whitetail hunting there, and like that, and so you know about
obviously that you don't go as a complete rookie. Yeah, of course. Makes sense.
Fine. Yeah, that was the chapter on books.
Nice.
I'm very proud of them. I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look into them too often anymore, but if
Mm.
you took them, they are like old friends.
Mm-hmm.
You draw out and oh, great book.
Yeah, see, I don't have friends. That's why I don't have books.
Yes, these are my only friends.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, at least they don't
Except,
talk against you. It's fine, of course, I understand.
yes,
You can tell them what you want, they will always
yes,
agree.
they shut up and say, yes, master.
You like this, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I see. Mm-hmm.
So are there some more statements to make? Do you have something in your mind you want to
Just
mention?
because you showed this book of this horse riding girlie.
Yeah.
I'm not a Facebook friend too, I think, from Chess Smith. She is, I don't know, just 20 or something years old, and she is a stunt rider and horseback archerist, and she does crazy things on the horse, and she just starts. So give her 10 more years and then she can write a book about her.
He will outshoot us.
Yeah, the archery technique is now not so good. She's more into all this, whatever you can do on a horse, but she shoots even bow and arrow from a horse. So it's very impressive girlie.
Yeah, I think I have to look for her. I think I know her from Facebook or so.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, so
it's always good. Yeah. It's always better when you look good, when you sell yourself as a show and whatever.
Of course. That's why they loved me in TV shows.
Sometimes. And I don't. Oh, look, even my bottle. It's fine. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, not even my plastic bottle can stand you. It's fine. Nice. So now we are through the book. So, guys, if really
let me see what's
was
next.
Not interesting for you, simply go back when you find it, pause it, write the title down, and if you didn't understand the author, write to Peter or write to me when it's about a book I showed, and then simply ask again which book it was, and then we can help you directly. But writing now a list of 120 books, only that you have a list, and you might not find all these books anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Or what's the purpose of having now a list of 120 books?
A good tip about searching for these old books is eBay, the American eBay, eBay.com, and also Abe Books, these antiquaries, and so
I find a lot.
Here you can find a lot of these old books, and often they are not quite as expensive.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes you think I saw once a book about Indian archery and I wanted to have it, and it was everywhere 100, 200, 300 euros, and I found one who was selling it for $60, and I think yes.
Yeah. There are some are also trying to put it out to a high price.
Of course. Crazy prices.
But there are some really expensive ones around. This one of Bill Nagy, I think you never will get one below $300, or the Sagittarius by Bob Swinehart. These are very rare and mostly and rare books.
But sometimes you can find them even in online bibliotheks where they have them as a PDF where you can read them at least online. I found somebody posted once a link there. You can find even Saxon Pope and all these classics at least as an online read. So it's there are possibilities to read them.
Yeah. And so what will be next? What's our next issue?
Oh, I don't have any issues. Now, next we thought about next time we talk about when you want to start as a complete bloody beginner archery, what's important, what to do, what to look for, what you need, equipment, training, whatever. Then we simply make complete from the basics. You never had a bow and arrow in your hand, but you want to start something, how to start.
Yeah, good idea.
It was your idea. That's why it's a good idea. Yeah, that's why it's a good idea, of course. Yeah.
I'm kind of proud because in your comments I read one guy said he switched from shooting 20 arrows in training to only shooting 3, and his accuracy improved. Yeah.
It's nice. So we influence even if you don't want to.
Yes.
Good.
You're a real influencer, I see.
No, you are. I only do my video reviews and stuff. And struggle with them. I have now an issue. I got last time this nice Manchu quiver from Indonesia. And then, of course, Malta Post called me. Yeah, I need to put it to customs. I need a proof of payment. Said, look, like the last 8 years, some companies simply sent me a free test sample, and free means there is no payment involved. So I can't give you a proof of payment, but there is an invoice on it that you know the value of the product, and then you can give it to customs, and then they will charge me the custom fees. Yes, but you know, I need a proof of payment. And I repeated again very calmly, and everything was fine then. We managed without any issues. I paid, I don't know, whatever for customs. And now another guy from Indonesia sent me some arrows. And the same guy who called me last time. And look, and last time you bought a quiver, and now you get the arrows from Indonesia. So you paid for it. Said, look, it's the same issue like I had before. This guy asked me if I want to review his arrows. Said, yes, send me some. But of course, I don't pay for it. So I can't give you proof of payment. Yeah, it doesn't work like this. Said, yes, with me, it works like this. So, and he put an invoice on it that you know what these arrows are. These wood arrows, they are not cheap, not expensive. There's a value on it. Give it to customs. Yeah, but I need the shipping costs. And I wrote him now with the DHL what the shipping costs are. I mean, he would see it because he is from.
Yeah.
I said, look, and if it's beyond your horizon, simply give it then to the evaluation department of customs, and then they will have a look at it, and then we see, okay, these are wood arrows, and we think, I don't know, they can be $2, they can be $5, and they will say something, and then they will charge something. So when it's beyond your capabilities, give it to someone who's capable. It's no problem.
What is if your grandma sends you a cake? So you have no invoice?
No, I have to. Yeah, no.
Same thing.
As long as from outside the EU, it's a hassle. Even if it's a gift, they don't accept that. They would accept if the same family name. If a Hirmer sends something to a Hirmer from America and it's big written gift, then they might accept it. But still, they will open it and have the nose in it. And I don't know. This is.
Yeah.
And of course, I understand I understand some companies, Chinese companies, most probably the right. Whatever you order a bow and they write a bamboo stick, $5. I had this in the beginning when I ordered bows from China, and then they wrote bamboo stripes, whatever, $20. And of course, even customs is not so stupid. And I saw this is a bow and not only bamboo stripes. And of course, but you know, how long can you cheat?
Also, the shipping, the forwarding got very expensive. Back then, when I ordered longbows from the United States, it was about $40 to $60, which is not a lot. Today, you know, it's over length and that and that. Byron Ferguson says to his customer, he charges them $100 more for a takedown bow.
Yeah.
And he says, take a takedown bow because shipping is cheaper. That $100 you will save in shipping the takedown bow.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
And it's even more beneficial having a takedown bow. We have these issues everywhere. I have bowers in Indonesia. They can't send me their bows now. They said, listen, I build now every bow as a takedown bow. And even the other one who builds nice Yumis and said, look, I would like to send you one, but the shipping is already $200 because it's 2.20 meters or 30 and whatever. I said, look, build a takedown Yumi. First of all, you're one of its kind. And you save shipping costs. Otherwise, you all go gaga. It's
crazy.
These couriers, they of course took benefit of this COVID situation.
And interesting enough, there are more suppliers of shipping than back then. The official US mail, German mail, Austrian mail, you name it, did it. It was less expensive, but now are more competitors and provider, and it's more expensive. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But that's what we have to deal with.
I would sell some of my long bows because I have so many, you know, that hill style kind of. I like to offer them on Facebook, but if a guy from the United States buys it, it's horrible to get it over there.
You can send one to Malta, you know.
They're too strong for you. They are 70 pounds plus.
Okay, this is not for me.
That's why I like to sell them.
Only toy bows, and then I need to register it here because
these are no girly bows.
No, it's simply because I can't shoot them here because you need to register them. More than 60 pounds you need license here.
Yeah, really?
And I don't, and I don't have a gun.
These are meat eater bows, you know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. I can shoot my pumpkin with a 30-pound bow. It's not a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it is. Good.
So nice talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Like always.
Was a little one-sided today because you talked a lot about your books, but it's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
What should I do if you
don't
only
have
have
any
3
more
books?
So what can I do?
Yeah.
It's
but
fine.
Next time I let you talk the whole.
No. It's about beginning in archery. We both can put our knowledge in it. It's fine.
I think you know more about beginning. I don't know a lot about beginning.
You're closer to the end, I could say. No?
Yes. I'm at stopping, not at the beginning.
So you don't shoot that often anymore for yourself?
I do, but in the last, I think some weeks I didn't shoot.
Maybe you should do it more often.
Yeah, and even if it gets warm outside, and so I really like it more. But I don't like to shoot in the cold.
That's why I moved to Malta.
Lucky guy.
Hey, even you don't have roots, you know. You can move around. You're not a tree.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's not luck. It's a matter of decision.
Yeah, you're right. But you know, I'm waiting for the climate change. So here it will be also warm, like in the Sudan or in Nigeria. If you listen to the scientists, it's very fast. In some years, it will be like Sahara Desert here.
I was watching last time a video of a scientist and said, you know, with this climate change, and when you see from the beginning, when we started taking notes of the temperature, whatever, 150 years ago, until now, the temperature raised at 1.5 degrees. And I was like, what the heck? So what? I mean, nothing runs in a straight line.
And funny thing is, if you ask if someone is complaining about climate change and you say, you know, tell me, what is the bad thing about climate change? Yeah. No, it's horrible. Why? Why it's horrible? Because in Siberia they can grow tomatoes then, or in Greenland they can make wine, like back then when the Vikings were there, because it was called, Greenland, you know. So what's the bad thing?
The only land which is not green is Greenland. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's white. It's white land. Yeah, that's why. And I think.
But when the Vikings had their colonies there,
what little do we know of this planet? It's here for millions of years, and a little temperature change. I think it's always normal, but only because it goes now up doesn't mean it goes up and we will all burn. And you know, or the next ice age is coming now, or whatever. It's all rubbish.
We are at the end of an ice age. Because of that, there is still ice on the mountains and on the North Pole and South Pole. And you know, I always think about, if they talk, we have to stop climate change. I always that Tower of Babylon comes into my mind. When the people went crazy and said, we build the tower up to the heavens, to God. It's like you like to stop the moving, the spinning of the earth, or you switch the you know, the how is it called, the angle of the like if you say something like, oh, we switched the angle of the earth and everything is fine, just let's work on it. It's so crazy.
Yeah, but look what supposed Bill Gates has now in mind. He wants to darken the sun to stop the climate change.
So the chemtrail guys are right now.
Yeah, of course. It's now already official. You see it in official normal radio TV stations that they do reportages about chemtrails. It's always, you know, they do a lot bad things, and now they admit that they did a little bad thing, and then it's out of the way. But that these chemtrails contain a little more than only blocking the sunlight, they of course.
I don't know.
But now we gave you a reason. We wanted to block the sunlight to, climate change, save the planet. Greta will be happy. But that there is more in this thing, of course, I don't tell you.
You know, I don't believe in these extreme conspiracies, because I don't think they like to poison us and so on.
No,
but that they are experimented since the first airplane was invented, they started to experiment with different stuff. Of course.
Yeah, we will see. I mean, the future will show. And then you can remind yourself, oh yes, Armin, this was 2021. Armin told me about that. Yeah. And now we are there. But members probably don't realize anymore because they control already your mind.
You know, I mean, you should write a book like Nostradamus. You will replace Nostradamus. Armin said, now there's a Nostradamus said, Armin
but Nostradamus never said all these things. They're all interpretations.
I know.
I read once a little bit of Nostradamus. I was like,
crazy stuff. I think he was on drugs or something because you can't read
interpretation. I mean, I don't know in which language he wrote it, and then you read the German translation of it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we had other people, seers. Now they saw things. And especially in Bavaria, we had a few of these smart people. Yeah.
You know, very interesting. During the 1930s, when the Nazis were ruling in Germany, they fought against this occult and esoteric stuff. But on the other hand, they had Ahnenerbe, this kind of ministry, and they had the dowsers. You know, dowsers are this with this wooden fork. Yes, and how is it called? This pendulums.
Adolf was very
also seers. Yeah.
He was very interested. That's why the swastika. I mean, it was not used for. He knew what it is.
Yeah. No, but it was not. I think Adolf went along, but the big guy in esoterics was Himmler and also Goering. You know, Goering used the bow and arrow to hunt and so on because he liked to do it like the old Germans. You know, the German warriors back then, and tribes, and also with the with this hunted white boar with a spear and so on. Yes, they were a lot into the old legendary stuff because they liked. They also were against the religion, against the Catholics and the Lutherans and so on, and they liked to create their own religion of their own. This German stuff. And so they were into all that occult things. So partly it's true what you see in Indiana Jones, because they had an Amazon expedition looking for stuff, and had to Tibet. They had an expedition to look for the former Aryan peoples hidden there in the Himalayas and so on. Did a lot of things in that. Of course. In a short time, they were able to do it.
Yeah, they had the financial power in the background.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy if you think about what they built and so on. Lots of buildings around Europe and so on, and this Atlantic wall and so crazy. Okay.
Good. Let's stop with the craziness. Let's stop the video for today.
Yep.
Next time we talk about beginning in archery, and then we go from there.
Next week.
Okay. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, for subscribing, for liking, for pushing the bell button, and for writing nice comments and questions and everything. You know it. I said it.
Yes, I agree. And also and also subscribe to my channel.
Of course, always to both of us.
Yes.
Of course. And like both and comment on both.
Yes.
The bell button on both, of course.
Write comments.
Yes. But okay. Nice comments.
So meet you next week. I mean,
meet you next week, of course. Same place, same station, same time, same outfit for me. Shoot straight. Take good care, guys. See you next week.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Ciao.